So the FDA has authorized the first COVID-19 treatment pill, but critics are hitting the Biden administration tonight for that approval taking this long. And medical experts are warning about a supply issue with the drug. Let's bring in tonight's panel to debate it all. Former Biden campaign surrogate Kevin Walling, Fox News medical contributor Dr. Jeanette Nashwat, and District Media Group President Beverly Hallberg. Welcome to all of you.
Good evening.
Hey, Mike.
Good to be with you.
Let's start with Dr. Jeanette. How huge is this new antiviral in the fight against COVID?
Oh, it's huge, Mike. This is a real game changer. This is the first antiviral pill that'll help keep my patients out of the hospital. And it's only for 5 days. The key is you've got to start it early. So that's why testing is critical. And making sure we have enough tests is also just as important. But what I love about this is that it can reduce the incidence of death and hospitalizations by almost 90%. But we got to keep in mind, Mike, that prevention is always better than the cure, and this pill is not a substitute for the vaccine. But that being said, we do have a lot of breakthrough cases. So, I had a lot of patients today test positive that I would have loved to prescribe this medicine, Paxlovid, but hopefully in the next few days, 2 weeks, we'll have it available. Even though there is a shortage, it's probably going to be first priority given to those that have high risk, that are high risk and have underlying medical conditions. So
be patient, but relief is on the way. Here is President Biden on ABC about the Pfizer pill.
We've purchased several million already, but here's right away, I think don't hold me to the number, I think it may be 20 million, but a lot of pills, all they can make so far. But I hope we don't get there, because if people get the shots, they get their 2 shots and a booster, they're not going to be in a position where they're going to need such a pill.
Beverly, it sounds like he doesn't love the pill because it interferes with his get vaccinated messaging, but for someone like you, this is huge, right?
This is huge. I'm someone who has an autoimmune disease. I have decided not to be vaccinated because of the issues with my autoimmune disease, and also because I've had COVID before and have recovered. So when I hear about drugs like this, I'm excited, this antiviral drug, because I think it's wonderful with people with pre-existing conditions. And I think especially since we know that there are breakthrough cases with people who have been vaccinated, having medicine to treat is important. I think this has always been about a multi-pronged approach to attack COVID. Part of that is testing, which we're sorely lacking on right now, and I would argue we have been ever since we learned about the pandemic. Part of it is vaccinations, and more vaccinations are coming out. But I also think another part of this is letting people decide with their own doctors. The mandates that we are seeing coming down, especially in Washington, D.C. today, is putting people like me with underlying health conditions with no option to participate in various aspects of society within that city. And I think that's extremely concerning. Where are the exemptions for people with medical conditions, with underlying conditions, and we haven't seen that.
Let's go to the former Biden campaign surrogate, Kevin. Why wasn't there a big White House event today selling this news? Is it concerned that people are going to have to wait to get the pill?
I don't believe so. And of course, obviously, as you played the tape from ABC earlier, the president spoke of this directly to the American people. This is a big deal, as Dr. Jeanette has said. And to Beverly's point, too, it's a 1-2 punch for those who are unwilling to get the vaccine because of underlying conditions like hers, or in consultation with their doctors where it doesn't make sense. This is a positive step forward and another arrow in our arsenal in terms of combating this disease. There's some positive news out of South Africa with the new variant that is waning there. We are hopeful that that will be the same case here in this country. 200 million Americans have already been fully vaccinated. So I think, hopefully, knock on wood, I'm knocking on wood right now, the worst is over in terms of what we're seeing with illness, serious illness and death in this country.
The White House has added an emphasis on testing. Is the testing push too little too late, Dr. Jeanette?
Well, the problem is I feel so bad that, for example, my patients, they have to wait for such long periods of time. And we don't want them to have to derail their Christmas plans because they're not able to get the test results in a good amount of time. So it creates a problem. It's an inconvenience, and it can deter people from getting tested if, for example, they've been exposed or maybe they're having mild symptoms. So it's better late than not at all, but we're moving in the right direction. But hopefully in the future we will be better prepared.
I've spoken to a lot of families worried about traveling during this Omicron surge. What is your read on that, Beverly?
Well, I think it's valid in that people are really concerned about spreading this virus to others, especially those who are in high-risk categories. But I also think one of the reasons why there has been this fear is because I don't think this administration has been cautious about waiting for all the information to come out before instilling fear. And I think many in the liberal media have followed along with saying that this is so dangerous. We have to be very careful. We've seen leaders of cities instituting masks again and wanting to shut down. And I think we need an area of caution and learning more about it, because we are impacting businesses and people's lives. And so I think we need to be more cautious with that, because what we do know now, it looks like it's more encouraging that while this is contagious, it's less deadly. And I think that's something to be encouraged by and not to instill fear.
Kevin, President Biden also spoke to ABC News about running for re-election. Let's play the clip.
I'm a great respecter of fate. Fate has intervened in my life many, many times. If I'm in the health I'm in now, if I'm in good health, then in fact I would run again.
And if that means a rematch against Donald Trump?
You're trying to tempt me now. Sure. Why would I not run against Donald Trump or even the nominee? That'd increase the prospect of running.
Kevin, we're up against the clock, but do you really buy that he'll run again?
Absolutely, I do. And again, I think he's very clear. If he's in the same health, I've seen him up close and personal in recent weeks. He looks great. He feels great. And of course, in that clip, he's itching for a rematch potentially with former President Trump.
All right, panelists, thank you so much for staying up late. It's great to have all of you. Have a wonderful evening.